No, I should have time today.
And then I have another request.
I hear Bruce.
People at the back
Is Bruce
door,
on our live today?
I'm not shutting the door, and when it's cold weather, the doors can separate.
Sure.
All right.
He's over there
There
talking
you
to him.
Okay, so today we have Ginny, Dave, and Aaron again, and we're going to talk about what the heck is a security and compliance audit. I mean, those words don't mean much to me, an individual person living, in her house here, but to the business owner, it actually will mean a lot. So we were talking before we got live here about the types of security typically people look at in their business. We talked about they install maybe a firewall, maybe some antivirus. They certainly don't train their staff. So those are the first three things that I thought of. What about you guys?
The statistics are, business-wise anyway, 90+% of the attacks come via employees clicking on something in an email.
Yeah.
So, spam filtering, there's devices to reject emails that are from known bad or fake domain names. And then we also offer to our customers phish training, how to recognize suspicious emails. Because, we've said this before, they're not stupid, the people that do this at all.
I think the point too with the training is it's almost a shock to the businesses when they first start the training, because they get the statistics on how many of their employees actually fell for the fake email, and
Right.
it's quite a bit, and over time that lowers, but that doesn't mean that threat will ever go away. You always have to be very cautious and just question, and worst case, if you have to, maybe call, or ask somebody else, is this real, and have them look at it.
Yeah. So, but okay, those three things are okay for security, right? But we're talking about security and compliance and what one of our audits can do for you. So can you guys explain a little bit about what security and compliance, those two words, mean to the business owner?
Well, Aaron said before we went on the air about security is, what did you call it? You need a holistic approach?
Yeah, and kind of the way I see it in my head is I visualize my house, my property. I've got a fence around my yard, and that keeps things out. I've got a door and windows and a garage, and and all those have locks, and that keeps things out. I don't necessarily have any high-end security features, but the idea there is each of those access points or each of those places are a vulnerability. Or even my mailbox at the front of my driveway, I get that mail and I bring it into the house, and it's a bad example for the phishing example, but that's what's going on is I'm duped into taking into that mail inside of my house or clicking that email on my network and compromised.
Yeah. So in the IT world, you have to allow for the emails, but you also need like brute force attacks from the internet, right? We discussed this before. There's no friendly little UP in the internet. You're just an IP address, and they don't care where you live or who you are. If your server's not patched or if it's out of date, your computers are old and not updated and don't have good firewall software and antivirus, anti-malware programs running on them, that's a security issue. And you can get right down to People walking into your business and grabbing laptops or stealing them at airports. There's 100 different ways that can be non-secure.
Well, I think too, with our, desire to have all these smart devices like smart refrigerators and smart TVs, those are all vulnerable. I remember a story I was told about a conference, a security conference, cybersecurity conference in Las Vegas, and the person telling me the story had said that they even turned their smartphone into airplane mode because all these cybersecurity professionals converge on this conference, and the whole time they try to hack each other. And if somebody gets hacked, you get your name put on the board, and nobody wants to be on that board. So they shut their phones off because they don't want to get hacked. That's how serious cybersecurity is nowadays.
Well, and the more and more devices we add to our networks, the more possible holes there are, right?
Oh.
Yeah. So you can, in all good intentions, install an app on your phone, have a great password, have security patches, be highly trained, on what to look for and be a great security expert. But that company that sold you the app gets attacked and has a vulnerability, and
then they get yours.
That would be the SolarWinds example is exactly what happened. Is they were compromised because the cyber criminals put a threat in an update to their software, and then the company sent out that update to all of their software, and that threat rolled right in with it, undetected.
Yep.
Hmm.
Told you they weren't stupid.
No, they're not. And, is there, I'm just curious, I don't know if you know this or not, but is there a way that which companies have some kind of, is there a badge that says, I have lots of security in place or something like that? We don't know that, right? There's so many apps, I can't imagine that there's really.
I'm gonna throw this out there. Our Sentinel-1 antivirus, and I use the term antivirus in a generic sense because it monitors your Windows threads that are running through Windows, and if it catches something trying to be executed that's known bad, or it's not digitally signed or whatever, it will kill it. It will not allow it to be executed. It will also recognize things like, hey, did you someone added an admin account on your server, which gives them access to everything on it. It will notify us. So would that stop the update from running? Would it stop that? That's a good question, and I can't say.
At least you're aware of it, though.
Yeah. Yep.
And we get alerted, and we take care of it right away, too.
Right. And I don't think it'll stop the update from running because it would see that as legitimate. But whatever that bug that was put in the update has to run as a thread, I believe it would see it there.
Yeah.
Kill and quarantine it right there.
So there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee, but.
If it's like a car thief, right? You lock your car, you take the keys out, put an alarm on it, put a boot on it, put one of those old driver's light or your the bar.
The thing that goes in the steering wheel, yeah.
But if someone wants your car, they'll come with a fork truck and or hook it up with a tow truck and steal. So.
But that's pretty obvious. So.
But if they want it that bad,
somebody would notice that.
Right. If they want it that bad, they're going to keep, any way they can, they will attack you.
Or watch for a hole, or watch for an opportunity, right? Like a stalker.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
To your question a moment ago, Jen, I think
go ahead.
there is. I think, especially on the financial side, there's audits that occur, and those audits then sort of prove or show the compliance levels. And then you get scored on certain things, and then the financial institution then will work towards increasing their scores, whatever the audit finds out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good. So circling back to our audit, since we're talking audits now, our audits, we mentioned compliance. Now, compliance, we talked about before we went live, is like HIPAA, stuff like that.
PCI.
And, financial institutions and healthcare providers all have to have HIPAA compliance. And our audits will make sure that you're compliant, correct?
I guess technically you would say our programs.
Our programs?
Process.
Okay. Well, what does our
Process,
audit do? What does our audit do?
Well, the audits are going to look at things like I mentioned before. If you have a server, is it a supported a current Microsoft supported operating system, which I believe is 2016 and newer. You have Windows XP machines on your network that are huge. They haven't been patched in years. Even Windows 7 now, without updates, are considered holes. Your network devices, your Wi-Fi is like, I can drive by your business in the street if you don't have good secure Wi-Fi. Is your antivirus update? Is your anti-malware software updated? Are your Windows computers patched? Are your devices patched?
I got a funny example to give you actually, and I just got the email today. So earlier in the week, I was at a new client site installing one of our firewalls in preparation for some more work with them. And the firewall has a Wi-Fi capability, which we turned on for the client because they need to have Wi-Fi. And the email I got today was, I'll read it to you. Hold on a second. It was from the business owner, and they said, quote, wanted to share this with you. We received a call from our neighbor wondering what happened to our internet. Apparently they had been using our Wi-Fi and wasn't able to get on with it anymore. I was shocked when I heard this.
Wow.
So we turned off their old Wi-Fi, and then we installed our firewall and put on a new Wi-Fi with a new password, and she got a call from her neighbor. What happened to your internet?
I was stealing your Wi-Fi. Why did you turn it off?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like it's okay.
If her neighbor would have did something illegal or used that internet to do something bad, was that business responsible? I don't know. But
that's
I wouldn't want to be in that spot.
Well,
no.
And certainly Charter Spectrum, you can't obviously sell your internet that you buy from Charter to someone else. You can't you can't sublet it. But I think they probably take a pretty dim view of other people using it that aren't paying for it.
Yeah. Interesting.
One thing I do like to highlight, because a lot of what we talk about today and other times, we have a sheet that has 15 ways to protect your business from a cyber attack, and this is absolutely on our website. It's free. I would recommend this. It's a great document to just give to any businesses. But there's.
You want to find it, Ginny, and share it?
Anything from two-factor authentication to encryption to firewall, like we've been talking about, to passwords. It's a good starter, a good one to look at, and then check the boxes if those things are being done currently. And
here it is.
Nobody's ever going to be perfect. We strive for excellence, but the hackers are one step ahead. They're going to be one of us.
Okay, and then make sure that you get. Are you guys done? Did we cover it? We could talk about this forever, right?
Yes, we could.
There's just so much information out there and so many things that you can do. But the bottom line is that we have a security and compliance audit that we can perform for your business. That is not free because it's very thorough. But
Correct.
you'll get a report that will tell you where all the holes are, right? Pretty much. Or Dave will go over it with you. We do have a free security assessment. That's just kind of a light overview, right, Dave? I mean, it's just a security assessment. So if you would like that, you can go to our website and sign up for that. And Dave will get with you in that. So
Awesome.
Yep.
that's a wrap. I'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Bye.